We'll be calling the meeting to order in 1 minute. I now call this regular meeting of the Board of Education to order at 7 o'clock p.m. Can you please call the roll?
Ms. Pearson, Ms. Chavez.
Here.
Ms. McCall.
Present.
Ms. Bennett.
Here.
Mr. Carpenter.
Here.
Ms. Haley.
Here.
Ms. Stanford.
Here.
With 6 present, 1 absent, we have a quorum.
Thank you. We will now take a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. As we start each meeting, it's important to remember that the mission of Rockford Public Schools is to collaboratively engage all students in an equitable first-class education for a changing world. Before going any further, we'd like to thank Kim Pedersen and Aaron Hill, who are working behind the scenes to produce the board's broadcast via YouTube live stream and Comcast Channel 20. We are now going to recognize and celebrate outstanding contributions, and we'll turn it over to Ms. Stanford.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here. I'm so excited to see a full house. As we start our meeting tonight, I'd like to start our meeting off with thanking our committee lead, Dr. Antoine Reed, for all he's done for not just our committee, but for the district and the community as well. Tonight would be his last board meeting, but he's not here. His passion for our scholars and his ability to think outside the box has led to many initiatives at RPS, the most noteworthy being Brothers for Change. Because of his leadership, our scholars and our staff are feeling seen and understood. Many are excelling due to his efforts. Thank you, Dr. Reed, for everything you have done for RPS, and good luck with your next adventure. And now on to honoring RPS 205's outstanding staff, students, and coaches, celebrating your great achievements. After you hear your name or team called, please come forward to make your way through the inner circle to shake hands with the school board members and the superintendent's cabinet. You'll then proceed to the hallway where you'll receive a certificate or patch and have an opportunity for photographs. Audience, please hold your applause until the end of each group. And I apologize in advance if I pronounce your names wrong, but I've been practicing. So let's start with athletics. Congratulations to Marshall Middle School's Scholastic Bowl team for taking 4th place in the IESA state tournament. There were over 400 teams in the state. They lost on the last question to a team that was champion last year. Great job to the following students and coaches for representing RPS 205. Eli Alessandrini, Lily Constantinescu Lungu, Nayet Girish, Say Kamaraswamy, Shlak Mamidi.
Are you doing this Scholastic Bowl?
Yeah.
They were supposed to do track and field first, so Scholastic Bowl had them step out. So
Oh.
if you could get in.
Okay.
Would you?
I can swap.
Cool.
There's no problem. Okay. Pretend I didn't say any of that. So we're going to start with 7 middle schools qualified for the IESA 3A State Track and Field Championship. From Barber, Giovanni Gonzalez, Benjamin Morgan, Jonathan Ortega-Ortiz, Jaden Prado, Angelina Escobar, Sofia Herrera, Areli Patterson, Adeline Mendoza, Coach Ashley Romerman. From Eisenhower, London McCollum, Tia McCollum, Shantea Simmons, Ariana Walker, Paris McCollum, Kendall Moling, James Wright, Coach Ben Dresser. From Flynn, Braden Fleming, Trayman Fleming, Ethan Becker, Xavier Ebol, Tristan Kimbrough McMillan, Gregory Norman, Willie Jackson, Zelaya Polk, Coach Tanya Patrick Sterud. And from Kennedy, Camarian Gamble, coached by Ryan Lambert. And from Lincoln, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. From Lincoln, Noah Adams, Kivanise Bennett, Coach Dante Johnson. From Montessori, Janelle Ballard, Coach Hannah Holmes. Congratulations. And from West, Cameron Joseph, King Thomas, Cameron Boyd, Damian Ingram Graham, Anthony Green, Tayshawn Scott, Gabrielle Reed, Saija Charles Ballard, Azaria McDonald, Natalie Holt, Zoe McLaurin, Ava Spencer, Coach Brian Rutan. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Congratulations. Now we'll move on to our high school participants in the IHSA Track and Field State Championship. Should I wait till they settle down? Okay. Okay. Now for our participants in the IHSA Track and Field State Championship. For girls, from Auburn, high jump state champion, Jada Benford. She's not here. Coached by Nyaja Taylor. From Oh, sorry. And from Guilford, long jump state champion, Allison Steibel. Soraya Burnett, London Webster, coached by Greg Ford. And for boys, from Auburn, Navier Purifoy, Ed Quinn Sanders, and Tim Neighbors. Coached by Olivia Olivia Ferguson. Congrats again. Thank you. And from Guilford, Nkosi Denny, coached by Jerry Goldsmith. And from Jefferson, Janardi Turner, who placed third in the 110-meter hurdles. Zyshawn Young, coached by Matthew Davis. Congratulations. Good job, Coach. Congratulations. And now for boys tennis state qualifiers from Auburn. Austin Altangerel, Jay Patel, Yashwin Kadmanaban, coached by Tracy Palmer. Oh, Austin is here. Oh. Yeah. You gotta hug me. And now on to our fishing state qualifiers. Reed Trickner and Henry Seminario, along with coach Brian Hansis, competed at the 2026 IHSA state finals at Lake Shelbyville. Their 5 fish over 10 pounds secured them 6th place at sectionals and the chance to compete with the top 60 teams in the state. Please come forward to be recognized. Are the Scholastic Bowl scholars in the room now? Okay, all right, very good. Congratulations to Marshall Middle School Scholastic Bowl team for taking 4th place in the IESA state tournament. There were over 400 teams in the state. They lost on the last question to a team that was champion last year. Great job to the following students and coaches for representing RPS 205. Eli Alessandrini, Lily Konstantinescu Lungu, Nayat Girish, Say Kumaraswamy, Shlak Mamidi, Vayan Patel, Arav Raj, Sophia Red. Coaches Carrie Goings and Deb Johns. Oh. Good job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congrats. Congratulations. 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 And now in academics. Students from Auburn High School, Marshall Middle School, and Carlson Elementary participated in the Illinois Future Problem Solving Competition. It's a platform for critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills among students. Participants were challenged to consider broad topics and envision how to address future challenges. From Auburn, under the guidance of Liz Krempota, Naziah Moorhead, 2nd place. From Marshall Middle School and Carlson Elementary, under the direction of Aubrey Barnett, Katie Lippian, 1st place. Arab Raj, 1st place. Josiah Sales, 2nd place. Moayed Abu Kaf, 1st place. Tinsley Barnett, 2nd place. Hudson Carlson, 5th place. Roberti Lightfoot, 5th place. And Alexis Nyber, 5th place. The first and second place students competed at the international competition, June 10th through the 14th. Please come forward. Congratulations, 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 congratulations. Congratulations. The following Auburn High School seniors have been designated as Illinois State Scholars by the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. Austin Altangirel, Ashley Ariana Bethencourt, Alexandra Brandis, Celine Deek, Besnick Jusufi, Xavier Lundberg, Trenton Matthews, Charles Miller, Liliana Rayan, and Morgan Whitmore. In order to earn this honor, students must rank in the top half of their graduating class and score in the 95th percentile of the ACT or SAT. Congratulations. And congratulations to our high school valedictorians and salutatorians. We get to see Austin one more time. From Auburn, Austin Altangirel, valedictorian, and Alexandra Brandis, salutatorian. Good job. You deserve it. Good job. From East, Kylie Baumkamp, valedictorian, and Alexis Nelson, salutatorian. From Guilford, Denny Zhang, valedictorian, and Berkeley Stenstrom, salutatorian. Congratulations. From Jefferson, Jasmine Rodriguez Herrera, valedictorian, and April Santa Cruz Villejas, salutatorian. And from Roosevelt, Annabelle Alfaro, valedictorian, and Jayana Stevenson, salutatorian. Congratulations. Good job. Congratulations. You're welcome. RPS 205's high school graduation ceremonies took place at the end of May. Under the guidance of Zach Larson, Jefferson High School sports media team members Giancarlo Martinez Cervantes, Christian Klasnia, Colton Montgomery, Ari Escobedo Albino, and Haley Powers volunteered their time and talents to live stream all 5 RPS 205 high school graduations this year. The student group operated cameras, ran graphics, and directed a live show to bring this exciting moment straight to the friends and family that could not attend the ceremonies. Their help made such a big difference. The students did a tremendous job with a huge task and gained so much valuable experience, and they had fun too. Congratulations to Guilford High School's Nutrition Services staff member Daisy Powell for receiving AFSCME's Never Quit Service Award. She was nominated by her colleague, Judith Johnson. For nearly 26 years, Ms. Daisy has been driven by one thing: to see a smile on her kids' faces. She's referring to the nearly 1,400 kids who pass through her cafeteria throughout the day. Powell is a loving and steady presence, and the students and staff can always count on her. Always willing to lend a helping hand, to take on new responsibilities, Powell's entire career has been about serving others. Though Powell has been at Guilford High School for more than a quarter of a century, she doesn't want to retire. Please come forward. Thank you so much. Our next recognition is going to be presented by Jason Barthel, Chief Information Officer and Interim Chief Operations Officer. Mr. Barthel, the floor is yours.
Okay, I won't take too much time. It's not often that we get an opportunity to really recognize a life-saving act. Tonight, we're going to be able to do that with one of our RPS 205 bus drivers. I'm honored to be able to do that collaboratively with our AFSCME union leadership, Sarah Dorner, as well as our transportation department leadership as well. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Dorner to do this.
Thank you so much for honoring one of our drivers and for our nutrition service member, Daisy. The RPS 205 administration and AFSCME Council 31 proudly recognizes Jill Dobratz, bus driver, for her extraordinary vigilance, compassion, and commitment to student and community safety. While driving her 9th Street bus route, Route 67, at approximately 4 o'clock on May 19th, Ms. Dobratz observed a baby crawling alone in the street without any adults nearby. Without hesitation, she stopped to ensure the child's safety, removed the baby from immediate danger, and promptly contacted bus dispatch. Law enforcement was notified and arrived shortly thereafter. Ms. Dobratz's quick thinking and decisive actions likely prevented a tragic outcome. Her attentiveness, professionalism, and care exemplify the very best of RPS 205 staff and AFSCME members and reflect the district's unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of all. The incident also reminds us of the critical role that school bus drivers play in our community. Every day, they are entrusted with the safety of our children and must make countless decisions to protect students, families, and the public. On behalf of the RPS 205 and AFSCME Council 31 team, we extend our sincere gratitude and commendation to Jill Dobratz for her heroic actions and dedication to serving others. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, we want to recognize Superintendent Dr. Aaron Jarrett for his many years of service leading our district. I've sat at this desk for a lot of meetings in the last few years and wanted so badly to speak out in support of Dr. Jarrett and his leadership, his passion for our students, and his dedication to the Rockford community. Tonight, I finally get that chance. I'm proud to say that I've had the privilege of working with Dr. Jarrett for the past 7 years. I cannot say enough about the passion he has for the students of our community. His leadership and decision-making are always done with the students' best interests in mind. One perfect example of this lies in the fact that RPS was one of the only schools in Illinois to offer an in-person option for the school year of 2020-2021. Only a true leader could get the buy-in and effort that this took from all levels of district employees. Because of this, students stayed engaged were able to receive much-needed resources that our district offers, and our COVID slide in academic achievement was lower than the state average. I've seen our graduation rate and all other performance metrics rise considerably in the last 7 years. This has much to do with Dr. Jarrett's implementation of the standards of practice and standards of service. This initiative is complex and robust, and has held everyone to a higher level of accountability, improving classroom processes, and improving downtown administrative processes. One of the most impactful programs that Dr. Jarrett has championed is Rockford Promise. Hundreds of our students have attended, are attending, and will attend college tuition-free, many of whom would not be able to attend college otherwise. Being the superintendent is often a very difficult and thankless job. Tonight, I want to make sure that you, Dr. Jarrett, are recognized and thanked for the amazing job you've done for your duration as superintendent. Our students and staff are in a much better place than they were when you took over this role. It's been a pleasure to serve beside you, and I'm proud to call you my friend. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I'm confident you'll do an amazing job up north. You will be missed.
While people may remember specific initiatives and milestones, I hope what endures most is the recognition that leadership in public education requires courage, perseverance, and heart. On behalf of the school board, we extend our heartfelt thanks for your years of service, leadership, and partnership, not only with the school district community, but with the community at large. May you look back with pride on the many lives that you've touched and the legacy that you leave behind here in Rockford. Thank you, Dr. Jarrett, for answering the call and dedicating so many years of service to our students.
Now it's time to hear from the Quad Principal, John Cusimano, who will present on the success of his building. Take it away, Principal Cusimano.
Good evening. I was told there would be a clicker.
Yeah. I forgot we didn't need a clicker. We don't need a clicker during recognitions.
Thank you for having me here. I won't have to bend down so much and get so close to the mic now. It's always interactive. But thank you. It is a joy to be here. I would be lying if I said it was not. Slightly bittersweet. I really wish Heidi Detman could be here for this presentation. She was such a huge part of the quad. Always so kind to me. She believed in me, and that's why I feel like that was a big reason that I got the position. I miss Heidi, and I wish that she could be here. Secondly, Dr. Jarrett, it has been an honor to work with you, and I wish you nothing but the best when you do go up north. With those things being said, I am very blessed that I get to work with Bridget French so closely. Heidi and Bridget were kind of both put in charge of the quad, and I've been able to spend quite a bit of time with Bridget. She's very supportive. She's awesome. Tells me what I need to hear. Whether I need to hear it right at that moment, but she gives honest feedback, and she's passionate. She cares about the quad as much as I do. So Bridget and I believe that the quad is in good hands. I know there's a video coming up. It's right here.
Nobody hands you your future. You find it, you build it, and you work for it a little bit every day. That's exactly what we do at the Quad. The Quad is 4 high schools coming together in one shared space with a community of students who aren't into waiting. Here, pathways come together and we find our way together. It's labs that feel like the real thing because they are the real thing, created for students who get it.
My name is Dominic, and I'm a filmmaker.
My name is Jeannie, and I am a nurse.
Here, what you love becomes what you're good at, and that changes everything, including yourself and your future.
I'm Amina, and I am a chef.
I'm Jaden, and I'm a technician.
Building our future, every day at the Quad.
So, so a few things from the video will be in the future. We didn't have auto or welding this year. They're coming next year. So for the purposes of our video, we did work with Jefferson right next door. But I'd like to take you through some slides and just talk a little bit about the Quad and just kind of reiterate the things that I've said in the past about it. The intention was to be a very collaborative space, bringing kids together from all over the city. Regardless of where you live, we want you to have access to high quality programming, and it is an absolutely beautiful space. Starting next year when we add auto, welding, engineering, manufacturing, engineering, it's going to be even better. We're doubling in size as far as student population goes, and we welcome that. Our school goals for this past year, everything that we do, we try to do collaboratively. We want to have a student voice. We want to have parents involved as much as we can, and certainly community involvement. So we do survey parents. We do try to get as much feedback from the parents and the kids as we can, so that we're not developing our goals in isolation. So we decided to focus on collaboration, communication, community, and culture with some of the opportunities listed below. A little bit about life at the Quad. Amina was in our video, and Amina's awesome. And she actually told me this, that her mom is a chef and that's what she wants to do. And Amina took great pride, and you saw it when she was in the lab. And when you see a picture like this, when I see a picture like this, I'm noticing the things, the equipment, the background. I know where she's standing, and I know what a beautiful space that is. And that space is unlike anything else in the entire area that I'm aware of. I'm not aware of another high school that has put this type of investment into kids and are putting them in spaces that if, Amina's dream is to be a chef, she's going to be working with the exact same type of equipment that we're giving her the opportunity to work with right now. So we feel like that'll put our kids a little bit ahead. Just some pictures of life at the Quad, some collaborative pictures. Bottom right, we do, Miss Han is our academy coach, and she is a great ambassador of the Quad. She gets the kids out into the community, but then she also brings the community into the Quad. A couple pictures of me meeting with students. I really want the students to know who I am. I want to learn as many of their names as I can. And one of the great opportunities, I actually just thought about this on the way here. Some of the survey data that we've gotten from the students is that they feel seen. And I really thought about that. I spent 11 years at Jefferson as an assistant principal. I always tried to be very visible, but when I thought about it, I was only in one spot. Jefferson's got 7 or 8 doors that kids come in the, well, now there's 3 with the Evolve. There's 3, but there's multiple places for them to come in. At the Quad, there's one student entrance. Every student that comes to the Quad was going to see me and Mr. Brown out there, especially at the beginning of the year, outside, kind of directing them. We didn't have signage. So the students were getting dropped off at Jefferson and not really sure what to do after that. So we're out there every day, and I really feel like that allows the students to see us and just start to build those connections and relationships. On this slide, we have the Illinois employability competencies. We really wanted to put our eggs into this basket and focus on these are the skills. It's available on ISB. I don't know that ISB necessarily developed them, but the Illinois employability competencies We have a monthly focus on them, and mostly it's soft skills that employers have identified students being in need of to make them more attractive in the workplace. So on the left, we have the themes. On the right, we provided some opportunities for teachers. If you wanted to incorporate them this way, you certainly could, but they could be creative with that as well. We hosted College and Career Readiness Week at the Quad this year, all RPS juniors, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't leave anything out with that because it was an awesome week that included ACT prep, financial literacy, mock interviews, and also resume writing. We see that as being an annual event. We had, at our career fair, we had close to 50 local businesses participate, so we're pretty proud of that as well. Here's the career fair slide. And again, it's just really cool. It's such a beautiful space to fit almost 50 local employers right in the commons, and you see the kids going around passing out resumes. We did have a couple kids that set up interviews and were actually able to get jobs from that day. So again, very proud of that. We want to bring the community into the space and develop true partnerships. Family and communication, the Quad has a YouTube page. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's really cool, and it's all stuff that was done by the kids. We also have an Instagram, which that's not my realm, but then we also send out monthly if there's enough information, bi-monthly if we feel that we're looking for content. Our Quad ambassadors are a big part of what we do. We really want that student ownership. So we had kids from all of the high schools signed up to be ambassadors, and basically for the career fair, they're giving tours. They're showing new students around. They're seeking the information that we need to help make their experience better. We don't want to be the ones making the decisions about what motivates students. We want to hear from them. This is Santiago. He won a Design the Design t-shirt competition, and just great kid. And when I hear about students that are involved in things, I want to meet them and get to know them and, let them know that they are seen at the Quad. So some really cool things. When students would receive these types of recognitions, we would meet with them, calm down, and here Santiago graciously accepted a Quad t-shirt, not as cool as the one that he designed. He also didn't have a 2X for me, so Santiago is down one t-shirt to me, owes me one. I told him that. I don't expect to ever cash in. Our showcase event at the end of the year was a really cool night. If you wanted to come in and just walk the Quad and put eyes on the finished product, you could certainly do that. But the students also plan an interactive activity where you would come in, you would start off in culinary, and then something happened. You may have eaten something, but then you go and you visit the nurses, and it was a whole it was a whole thing, and it was fun. The people who participated in it enjoyed the evening. Something that we really stress, that we believe, is that students learn best, many students learn best hands-on, and we see that every day. An example is our nursing aid program. Results, I do want to talk a little bit about some of the results that we saw. So the on-track rates are listed here, and so the number of Quad seniors down below in parentheses. So what we're looking at is the senior on-track rates for the homeschool students, homeschool seniors, versus the seniors who spent time at the Quad. And all of those numbers are higher. It is a smaller sample size, but we're proud of that. And I don't want to sit here and say that it's anything that the adults did. It's 100% the students, but I do believe that if you provide a safe and orderly environment where students feel seen, achievement levels do go up. From our April panorama and IPR data, some numbers that stuck out to us, 53.7% fewer behavior incidents. So we're talking about a student who attends just the Quad having less discipline issues. which we really saw at the quad. We had 0 fights this year, 0 fights in a high school. We saw almost 800 students at any time throughout the day. Next year, that's doubling. We're going to have almost 1,400 at certain parts of the day. So I think it says a lot, I think, about the kids. You know, they came there, they behaved, they were interested in learning and interested in the programming. And the behavior numbers, I really believe, show that. But also, the smaller environment and the personal touch, I think directly the next 3 numbers. So the 11.1% students with 504 plans. If you have a 504 plan and you spent time at the quad, you achieved at an 11.1% higher rate. 13.4% for homeless students, 4.8% for ELL students. And again, I wish I could sit here and say it's because of this or because of it's that. It's 1 year's worth of data we're very proud of. We really attribute it to the personal touch, the smaller environment, being seen. Again, we survey the students. Hopefully they don't get sick of Google surveys because those things are great. But 94% of students do feel fully welcomed and supported at the quad. Specific to the employability competencies, feedback that we got from the students is right here. They believe in it. I believe that that's because they see the emphasis that we put on it, and then we show them these are the employers and this is what they tell us, and then they're able to have that interaction with actual employers and also potential colleges through the activities that we've been able to set up. Staff survey results, you know, I'm really happy with this. The building was under construction. A good part of it was under construction, at least through first semester. The culinary labs didn't open until January. So we did not provide the space that we promised to the students or to the staff, but they were patient and they stuck it out, and it's beautiful. And if you haven't been over there recently, you should really go. But positive feedback, but again, we're talking about meaningful opportunities for our students. And again, we're adding welding next year. We have 5 sections of welding. Over 100 students will be taking welding next year, so we feel great about that. We know that welders are absolutely needed everywhere. So the quad, where opportunity lives and the future begins. Are there any questions or anything that I can answer for anybody?
Anyone have questions? Ms. Bennett.
Hello, thank you for coming. I have been able to visit the quad and I love it very much, so great job. I have a question or a few questions about slide 17 for the on-track rates.
Sure. This one?
Or sorry, 18, yes, I'm sorry, for a panorama. So, yes, okay. So for the first one, 53.7% fewer behavior incidences, meaning if, I guess help me understand the baseline or what it's compared to. So like if a student has had a behavior incident to not have a behavior incident, or help me understand that point.
So the number of students, the average number of students who had at least one behavior incident throughout the year was cut in half. So the average student had 2 discipline entries. Discipline could be a tardy, okay? So the average student has 2 of those on average.
So
the students at the quad.
Okay, so of your 800 students, is that what you're talking about? That is your, like your sample size is the out of the 800 of them, there were 53.7% less behavior incidences. Is that what you're saying?
No, these numbers are compared to students who are at their home high schools full-time. So compared to students who are at Auburn, East Guilford, and Jefferson full-time and are never at the quad, students who are at the quad have 53.7% less behavior incidents.
Okay.
And that's the rest, similarly for the rest of the numbers, 11% or 504 plans, students with 504 plans achieved 11% higher than their peers who don't take classes at the quad.
Okay, so then my question then is for the next 2, same thing. Can you explain it just the way you did? Yes.
Yes. So For students who are unhoused and take classes at the quad, they are achieving at a rate 13.4% higher than their peers who are unhoused who do not take classes at the quad.
Okay, and same thing, okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
That's very helpful, thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Carpenter?
Thank you for the presentation, it's very informative, and the quad is great. The increase in students next year, is that because of welding and automotive or something else? Or
yep,
more?
It's all of those things. We have 3 full-time auto teachers coming over that are all full. So that's 15 plus sections of students who weren't there just for auto. There's right around 120 students who are going to be taking welding. Engineering's coming over, and then also manufacturing / fabrication. There's over 100 students that are coming over for that as well. So it's really just the fact that Rock Valley was still using the back third of the building, and we're adding all of that programming that we didn't have this year.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Haley?
Do you see any increases in numbers of students in the other programs, the culinary arts, the nursing, the graphic arts? Are those numbers going up, or are they staying flat?
Thank you for asking. I'm so happy that you did, because this year we served 72 students in the nursing program. Next year we'll be able to serve 96. So yes, those numbers are going up. Our hospitality numbers have gone up. Graphic design is an area that kind of stayed flat. And we've talked to the graphic design, we've talked to all teachers about being creative with your programming, thinking outside the box. 3D printing is so popular right now. I'm sure that a course could be developed centered around just 3D printing. So the art numbers stayed kind of flat. The other numbers, we have seen an increase. And then we didn't have manufacturing, engineering, those classes weren't there last year. So just with adding those classes.
Okay. I do have another question, if that's okay. So with the dental hygiene program, that's a class, correct?
Not yet. That is, we're hoping to have a dental assistant program the same way that we have the nursing assistant program in the future. But I'm really glad that you mentioned the dental clinic, because you guys, it is amazing to see kids being brought in and out of that building all day long. They see students that are receiving free dental care that they wouldn't have otherwise been receiving. So Dr. Oates has created the dental clinic, and it is really awesome partnering with him and their staff, and they're coming all summer long as well. So really great opportunity.
So with that dental assistant program, do you know when that will start?
Hopefully 27, 28, but that would be something that I would be discussing with Bridget, and the instructional council has to approve any type of those changes as well.
Okay. So final, I just want to, I appreciate the fact that you guys have put your heart into this. And, it's dear to my heart. And it's important that we have these types of programs in this community so that students are able to get jobs immediately after high school. So I commend you for the work you've done.
Thank you so much. And thank you for your support. And please come and visit anytime. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's it for stakeholders.
Thank you, Ms. Stanford. All right, moving on to agenda item 3, which is the public hearing to request ISBE waiver of school code requirement to submit application for waiver of physical education mandate. There were no individuals who submitted public comment cards seeking time to speak on the ISBE PE waiver. So we'll then move on to item agenda 4, which is the petitions and communications section. The petitions and communications portion of the meeting is where the board invites members of the community to make comments. Slurs, profanity, and harassment will not be tolerated. Should any speaker use unacceptable language, they may be directed to immediately surrender the remainder of their speaking time and may be restricted from public comment in the future. The board will not respond to the comments at this time. If it is appropriate, you will be contacted in a timely manner by staff. Each speaker will be allowed no more than 3 minutes to address the board. It's not appropriate to discuss matters that are that should be confidential in open meetings. If you look to your left, you'll see 2 digital clocks. One shows the total time allotted to public comments, and one shows the time for each speaker. And the comments are also governed by board policy. We thank you for your cooperation with our guidelines. Our first speaker is John Tack Brantley, who will be speaking in support of Obama Library and Camp Grant.
Good evening, board members, and most of all, citizens that's watching. I also want to congratulate the superintendent that's leaving, but most of all, Jay from the Power District. For the past 4 years, he played a major role in supporting our kids where we do events in Rockford or outside of Rockford. And we just did the pyramid, and I'm blown away how many people did not know about the pyramid. But we are planning on going to see the Obama's library. I do looking forward to find out who's taking Dr. Reed's place. I do miss Earl Johnson Jr. and what have, because we do plan on going to see the Obama library. But I found out from my frat sister that that's the director at the library that it is packed right now for the summer. So we're looking at maybe the fall going to check out the library. But I want to get at the fact that we want to work with McIntosh, Lewis Lemon, Kennedy, Ellis, and West middle school. The kids that get suspended out of school, instead of them going home being suspended, coming into our program. We got, I got Rhonda, that used to be a teacher and also the president of the NAACP. I need to find out who we need to meet with in order to get this ball on the road. So when the kid gets suspended, we work with them at the library with their suspension, but we also work with them with their discipline problem. I've been doing this on my own with 21 kids, but we want to take this to the next level where we're working with the other kids. I want to get at the fact of talking about Camp Grant. A lot of people are not aware that Charles Young was the colonel at Camp Grant. He was born, I ain't gonna get a chance to finish it off, but anyway, I'm gonna talk about Camp Grant with the next time I come back, because we should have a monument at Camp Grant and not have they want to have a data center there. That's a no-no. World War I, II, World War I and World War II Buffalo soldiers was there at Camp Grant. Also, Young was the head of the Buffalo Soldiers. A lot of y'all don't know that it was the Buffalo Soldiers that brought in Geronimo. He also rode with Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt was he rode with Teddy Roosevelt. He played a major role. But I want to get at the fact that a lot of people is not aware that we had over 2,500 POWs at Camp Grant, and they got more respect and they got more treatment because of Jim Crow than our own Buffalo soldiers that was located at Jim Crow. And I'm gonna talk about Jim Crow at another time, because this right here is a sign of Jim Crow when we can't talk to y'all.
Thank you for your time. Our next speaker is Ricky Naylor, who's speaking in support of SB 3777.
Okay, do y'all know what SB 377 is, by the way? I'm sure Ms. Goldsmith know about this. You know, I'm just here tonight not to antagonize y'all, but to hopefully that y'all will get ahead of this, because, you know, when the bill has already been passed in both chambers of the legislation, the governors have got to sign it. What this law is saying now with this school district is if these disparities continue with these black students, Ms. Goldsmith, you know what I'm talking about, with these suspensions and whatever y'all doing to them, it's not going to be an excuse for it. So I'm just here to offer you guys. Now I've given Morgan Gallagher some names that he could, whoever this new person gonna be, to bring those folks in here. I know some good people. Y'all keep thinking because I know these people that they do what I do and they don't. They do their own things. So, and I would suggest y'all, you know, you guys are losing Dr. Reed, you're losing Dr. Turner. So now I'm going to give you guys Dr. Eubanks to help you. with this stuff. Now, y'all can just, keep playing this game like, well, we don't like nobody, all this stuff. It's not going to help you. Now, I mean, lately there has been some good communication, thanks to Ms. Goldsmith. There's been some good things happen. I'm hoping that, there's some kind of way we keep this momentum going, because you're going to lose in the end. Because you guys already know there have been several lawyers requesting that those statistics on what you're doing with these black students. Now this new law comes in. That's going to give these guys the clear path now in January 2027 to file a big claim against you guys, and that's going to be a big old mess. So for me, I'm like, hey, the new guy coming here, I'll be like, okay, look, we got 6 months to get this under control. So when January comes, the numbers look a little different, because right now, like I keep telling you guys, your black students are disciplined more than the rest of the students combined. That's already enough for a complaint right there. So hopefully, like I said, you guys will, come to your senses, stop this fighting with me and other people in the community, and just say, well, let's meet. You guys already got this meet with superintendent. You said, well, meet with these pastors and politicians. What do these pastors, with these black pastors in Rockford, know about filing a complaint? Nothing. Nobody has filed these complaints except for me and some other people. Even the NAACP has not filed a complaint against you guys or anybody else. So the juice is everywhere else. The juice is going to come. Like I said, even in Chicago now, you got a lawyer here from Chicago that moved into Rockford just to fight with this school district. So I would have this guy in a meeting. I would say, man, come on in and sit down. See, we can figure this stuff out. Well, if not, you just keep fighting. One of these times, it's going to be a big explosion of a lawsuit, and then you're going to really be using your resources. So talk to Ms. Goldsmith about that bill so she can explain it to you guys.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Karen Patterson, speaking in support of son special needs.
I don't know if I can reach this mic. I'm a little short.
We can hear you.
I got a big enough mouth.
There you go.
Oh, my name is Karen Patterson. This is my son, Johnny Patterson. He's a student at Rockford 205. Karen72597@comcast.net is where you can contact me if you need to. My son has an IEP and he has special needs. He needs extra help, and that is why he's allowed to stay in school until he's 22. Now that he's 18, he only has 2 options. First option, Project Search, which is an excellent program thanks to RAMP. Unfortunately, I can't agree to take him to this because it's only for 1 year, not till he's 22. The second option is to be hidden away from society, no school activities, nothing allowed to be done with the students that they can mimic or look up to. No inclusion at all. Absolutely the most restricted environment I've ever seen in my life. It's taking the least vulnerable students and putting them in the basement of this building. 205 can make improvements to many schools, build them, tear them down, football, track, give out money to college, this other school building. They can't be comfortable letting these vulnerable children sit in this basement with no sunlight, only to be let out to dust your desks and hand you your mail periodically. I've been told that there are students that work this program, that work at a work program from this basement locked up program, but the funds may not be available next school year. I would ask why. And where are you going to put these kids when you don't give them that money to let them stay here? I know this because my husband used to manage this building when it was a bank. I've been down there where they have cages to keep files in it. I would never in my life thought that it was appropriate for any student, more or less vulnerable special needs student. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm begging for you to stretch a few dollars to get our most vulnerable students out of this building, basement, and let them have some light and grow. I don't want my son to go down there and regress in a program like this. But it's his only option in order to stay in school till he's 22. This is exceptionally wicked and cruel and wrong. This is the epitome of hypocrisy, and 205 is causing it. I'm not asking you to take them out. I'm demanding that you remove these children from a locked-up basement so that they can thrive, not be left behind. We have money for everything else but them. This is not an option.
Thank you for your...
This is a sentence.
Time's expired. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 5, which is the report and action on items that proceeded through the Performance and Monitoring Committee. 5A is a donation from GE Aerospace to support the quad. May I have a motion and a second to approve item 5A, the donation from GE Aerospace to support the quad?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
Ms. McCall?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Ms. Haley?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
The motion passes with 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 6, which is the Performance and Monitoring Committee consent agenda. May I have a motion and a second to approve the items listed in section 6?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any consent items in section 6 that board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration? Seeing none, would you please call the roll on this motion?
Ms. McCall?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Ms. Haley?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
The motion passes with 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 7, which is report and action on items that proceeded through the Planning and Development Committee. 7A is a new secondary resource for fiscal year 27. May I have a motion and a second to approve item 7A?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Ms. Haley?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
Ms. McCall?
Yes.
The motion passes with 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. 7B is new math and literacy intervention resource. May I have a motion and a second to approve item 7B?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Ms. Haley?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
Ms. McCall?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
The motion passes with 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. Moving on to item agenda 8, which is the consent agenda for the Planning and Development Committee. May I have a motion and a second to approve the items in section 8?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any consent items from section 8 that board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration? Seeing none, would you please call the roll for the items in section 8?
Ms. Haley?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
Ms. McCall?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
The motion passes with 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 9, which is the consent agenda for the Governance Committee. May I have a motion and a second to approve the items listed in section 9?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Are there any consent items in section 9 that board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration? Seeing none, would you please call the roll for the items in section 9?
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
Ms. McCall?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Ms. Haley?
Yes.
The motion passes with 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. We're now moving on to agenda item 10, which is closed session consent items. Those include items 10A, the resolution regarding the residency of student EO, 10B, which is the appointment of Jessica Lapete as 10-month assistant principal assigned to Lewis Lemon Elementary School. 10C is appointment of Natasha Isby as 10-month assistant principal K through 7 assigned to IB Conklin School. 10D is the appointment of Matthew Russi as 12-month principal assigned to Rolling Green Elementary School. 10E is appointment of Jana Loofborough as 12-month special education program administrator assigned to the administration building. 10F is appointment of Christina Perry as 12-month executive director of curriculum and instructional improvement. 10G is the appointment of Ronald Carter as 12-month executive director of schools. 10H is the HR organizational report. May I have a motion and a second to approve the items listed in section 10, the closed session consent?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Are there any closed session consent items that board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration? Seeing none, would you please call the roll for the items in section 10?
Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
Ms. McCall?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Ms. Haley?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
The motion passes with 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. We're now moving on to item agenda 11, which is closed session consent items, student discipline, suspension appeals, and expulsions. Those include the following items: 11A, student B0015X-26, who would be expelled for the entire 2026-27 school year. 11B is student B0018X-26, who would be expelled for 2 calendar years from the date of board action, June 16th, 2026 through June 15th, 2028. 11C is student P0099X-26, who would be expelled for the entire 2026-27 school year. 11D is student P0100X-26, who would be expelled for the entire 2026-27 school year. Item 11E is student P0102X-26, who would be expelled for 2 calendar years from the date of board action, June 16th, 2026 through June 15th, 2028. Item 11F is student P0103X-26, who would be expelled for 2 calendar years from the date of board action, June 16th, 2026 through June 15th, 2028. 11G is student P0104X-26, who would be expelled for 2 calendar years from the date of board action, June 16th, 2026 through June 15th, 2028. Student 11H would be item 11H is student P0105X-26, who would be expelled for the entire 2026-27 school year. 11I is student P0106X-26, who would be expelled for 2 calendar years from the date of board action, June 16th, 26 through June 15th, 2028. May I have a motion and a second to approve the items in section 11, student expulsions and suspension appeals?
So moved. Second.
Are there any items that board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration? Seeing none, would you please call the roll on that motion?
Ms. McCall?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Ms. Haley?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
The motion passes with 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. We're moving on to agenda item 12, which is closed session consent items, student discipline, EIAs. May I have a motion and a second to approve the items in section 12, closed session consent items, student discipline, EIAs?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Are there any items that board members wish to have pulled for separate consideration? Seeing none, would you please call the roll on the motion?
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Ms. Haley?
Yes.
Ms. Stanford?
Yes.
Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
Ms. McCall?
Yes.
The motion passes with 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Jarrett, is your last report, I guess.
My final report. I want to start my report by just really thanking the Board of Education for all of the amazing work you do. June, Kim, thank you for your kind words, but thank you to each and every one of you for the sacrifices you make to lead our district, to lead our community, and you've created a condition that this is a job that had a wonderful applicant pool. You selected an outstanding superintendent, Dr. Huff, and that's not an accident. That comes from outstanding board leadership. And I want to thank each and every one of you for making this a really special opportunity for me. And I have enjoyed working with all of you, and I'm grateful for the time we've had together. I also want to extend my gratitude to our cabinet and our leadership team and all of our district leaders that work hard to support our schools, to our faculty, staff, principals out there working every day with our students, and most importantly to our families and students that we do this for. I'm grateful that we've had student representation at our board meeting that have brought some of their perspectives forward, and I think we have an opportunity to do even more of promoting student voice in our district. But as I leave the Rockford Public Schools to move on to my next assignment, I am filled with gratitude and I'm filled with optimism that the best is yet to come. You've hired an outstanding superintendent, Dr. Huff. I've had the privilege of getting to know him over the last 6 months, and he is going to do great things. And my expectation as a community member and now your largest cheerleader is that we will take the good work that we've done over the last 15 years that I've been privileged to be part of the district and build on that, and that we will continue to work towards our ultimate vision of eliminating predictability by zip code and being the kind of school district that is truly a first choice for families. For me, those were never just bumper stickers. Those are things that really mattered. And the reason I could say that with a straight face is because I worked with a board that truly believed it too. So thank you for making my time with you so special. It has been absolutely the privilege of my life to serve as the superintendent of the Rockford Public Schools and to work side by side with each and every one of you. So thank you.
Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is item 14, board member comments. Other business, new business, agenda recommendations. Are there any such items from any board members? I wanted to mention a couple things if nobody else has anything first. First, in addition to Dr. Reed, this would have been his last meeting. It's also Dr. Brown's last meeting, although he's not here too. He's provided a lot of, he's been a tremendous asset for the district, for the financial aspects of the district, and I think the district's in a lot better place because he worked here and committed so much to the district. So we really appreciate that and providing all the information that the board needs to make some of the most difficult decisions we make, I think. So I really thank him and wish him the best. I was also wondering if this is like changing the subject, but I was wondering if maybe we could get sometime either from Ms. Lawrence, maybe kind of a report on the extended day program for students that are with special needs that are not right now necessarily, but just kind of an overview so that for the sake of public knowledge and for all board members so we know what that program is about. Thank you. And I guess, does anybody else have any other items? I want to thank Dr. Jarrett also on behalf of the board for all of your leadership. And I mean, the amount of time that you've given to the board, there's a lot of things that you've done that we take for granted or that you've led the district through that we take for granted, I think. I think that when you started, the high school academies were maybe just starting or maybe they hadn't started yet. And like, that's something that we all, I don't know, I think we kind of take it for granted at this point that it's just some part of the district and it's an important part of the district. And there's not a million, but a lot of other things like that that you've led the district through and that we appreciate. And I think also the other thing that the superintendent is the ambassador for the district to the community, like Ms. Stanford and Ms. Haley mentioned. And I think that we've always never had any concerns about how you represented RPS. And I think that that's something that also is probably taken for granted by a lot of, maybe not board members, but a lot of the community that we have had such a great representative for RPS to the community, but also throughout the state and the educational community in the state. So we really appreciate that, and we do all wish you the best. So. All right, if there's nothing else, we'd take a motion in a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you all.